Hi, I'm Shane Lucero. I'm going to talk today about the technology I selected for Project Uplift, which is the telemedicine program I'm creating to address limited access to mental health care in Arizona. So real quick, a brief description of my project. Project Uplift will be a provider-to-consumer synchronous telehealth solution that will increase access to mental health care in the state of Arizona by allowing patients to interact with mental health care providers via a secure web-based telecommunication program. So Project Uplift will offer two separate service lines. One will kind of be a psychiatric services line overseen by the psych mental health nurse practitioner. And then they'll also offer, Uplift will offer a counseling services line overseen by a licensed certified professional counselor. So the psychiatric services will include history and evaluation, diagnostics, prescription for therapy, prescription for medication, and evaluation of how the therapies and the medications are working for the patient. Counseling services will include cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness therapy, dialectical therapy, and others like that. So when thinking about technology for this program, the things that I felt were high necessity components of the technology that I would be looking at would be the secure, number one. Obviously, I don't want to lose any confidential patient information in any way or have it taken or held hostage. Obviously, whatever technology that's going to be used with this, because we are dealing with patient information, has to be HIPAA compliant. I would like this communication program to be accessible by any web accessing device, so phone, tablet, PC, laptop, what have you there. Also, of course, I want it to be easy to use. If it's not easy to use, people are not going to use it. So I want it to be easy to use. And I do want it to work. So I put down an ability to operate effectively in areas with low bandwidth. So basically able to work in areas where the internet connection is there, but maybe not so great. So that would be, it'd be nice if the technology that I'm using to deliver the telemedicine services is able to do that. Also, it'd be nice if it's proven. I don't really want to be piloting a new technology approach or new software, really. I'd really prefer at this point just to be using something that's been shown to be effective before. Of course, also I'd like it to be cost effective. So ideally something that's not going to be too expensive. So some things that I considered briefly, I considered Skype, Google Hangouts, and Zoom. And so I ended up choosing Zoom, and here's why. I chose it because Zoom is secure. It has end-to-end encryption using AES 256, which is kind of the industry standard for encryption and the highest bit level of encryption you can get. So there's good security there and protection. Also, they have passwords in order to get into the meetings if you want to set it up that way. And they show you quite a few different ways that you can even implement kind of just on a personal level to kind of secure the meeting. Zoom is HIPAA compliant, and they show on their website how they meet HIPAA requirements. They kind of go through it point by point. And then also they voice the willingness to enter into a business associate agreement with any healthcare organization as required by HIPAA. Zoom is accessible. You can access it from any device that accesses the web. I've proved this accessing it on my phone and accessing it on the computer. So easy to use. I can personally vouch for it being easy to use. I've been using it for the past telemedicine services that use Zoom have stated that they found it really easy. One of them called it Fisher Price easy, which I'm assuming means so easy a child could use it. Able to operate in low bandwidth. So Zoom also has several testimonials from various enterprises. One was a telemedicine program in India that reported that it worked well in low bandwidth areas. Another one was like a rural telehealth program in rural Texas. Proven. Like I said, it's already been used in some telemedicine services, but also been used in some other areas of telehealth, including Project Echo, which we're all pretty familiar with in this class. Also, Phoenix Children's Hospital uses Zoom. So we all home health care also uses it as well. So it's clearly it's being used, and seems like the people using it are happy with it. The other thing that I really stuck out to me about Zoom is it had a 24/7, 365 support. So they're always going to be there to support you with this product, which is pretty nice. And thinking about that, I was like, well, at this point, I budgeted for a full-time IT person. And potentially I could save money now. I may not possibly need that full-time IT person, as most full-time IT person. So I think that this might be a way to, because initially I was thinking like building like a whole telehealth program and building the technology from the ground up, which I clearly don't need to do. I can use Zoom. It's going to be, it costs about, you have to have a minimum of $200 a month in order to get a business associate agreement with Zoom for your telehealth. So it's going to cost me $200 a month, and then potentially more if the program grows really big, because they charge you per access. So I'd probably give almost everyone on the team access. But yeah, I would need $200 a month in order to get a business associate agreement, which would make it HIPAA compliant. So it is obviously more pricey than Skype and Google Hangout. But I think given the fact that it could lead to partial or full elimination of my $60,000 per year IT position, that would definitely make Zoom more worth it. So I'm going to shortly here conduct a brief demonstration of how I'm going to be using Zoom. Okay, so time for demonstration. So first off, I want to mention that right now I'm showing you the free version of Zoom, so it doesn't come with quite all the bells and whistles that the paid version would. Anyway, I'm going to just do proof of concept here, kind of walk you through how it would happen. As a psych mental health nurse practitioner, the primary care office would message me requesting to refer one of their patients to me. So what I would do is I'm going to send them an invitation to join me in the video conference, and then they would talk to me briefly about the reason that they consulted me and kind of perform a warm handoff. And then I would briefly converse with the patient after that warm handoff to determine the appropriateness of outpatient follow-up. So I'm just basically making sure they're not like any kind of acute mental health crisis, like they're actively suicidal or something like that. Obviously not appropriate at that point for my program. Probably more appropriate to get some inpatient help there. But anyway, once that's complete, determine they're appropriate, I would probably do a handoff then to our registration employer or care guide, so they can gather information, set up the initial appointment, and kind of walk them through everything. So without further ado, let me get things going here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here in just a moment, and it's going to show how I would send that invite. So I'm guessing I'd probably get like a secure, there's like secure like Tiger text or something like that, where I get a secure message from the primary care provider, or even within Zoom, there's an instant message function. So maybe they could use Zoom as well. Send me a message secure saying, hey, I'd like to talk to you about a patient, and then I would shoot over my meeting request to the email, to their email, and then they could access the meeting and talk to me. So let me show you how I do that. We can screen share here in Zoom. So I will get my screen set up and ready to share. Okay, so what I would do now is I'd go ahead and share my screen. So in Zoom, I can actually pick what screen I'm going to share. So I'm going to share my email screen with you. So I'll click that. I will click share here. So now I'm sharing my screen. So you're seeing here the provider that sent me a request, Graham Sawicki here. So in Zoom, it gives you the option of copying a meeting invite or emailing it. So I chose to copy, just so I could show you how I could email it, but you can actually email from within Zoom I can email to Graham. So I'll say that here, invited to the meeting. It gives them a link to join. I can make sure that link is active there. Boom, links ready to roll. So then I'll just say, So I can say regarding patient referral. And then, so what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and send that email. So it's going over to Graham right now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, come back here so you can see me. And so then I would just wait here. And while I'm waiting, Graham is getting that email. He'll click on the link and he'll be able to join into this meeting. He doesn't need to have a login or anything for Zoom. You can click on the link and join. Sometimes I think it sets up through an email if I remember correctly. So you may need an email address. But other than that, I think you'll be able to just click the link and go. There's also a call-in option too. So if for some reason I was working with a client and they didn't have, for some reason didn't have access to a computer that day, they could also just use their telephone. And if they didn't have an app or something, maybe they just had not a smartphone, then they could just potentially just call in and it'd be just like a voice meeting. Always, of course, nicer to do video. We can share different things using Zoom, but it could be voice as well. Okay, so Graham will join here shortly. You can set it up where where the invited participant, it'll actually ring and show you, and you can choose whether or not they can join the meeting. I don't have that set up here on my account, so when Graham joins, it'll be automatically. And Graham is the provider that I'm using to demonstrate proof of concept here. So we will wait for him to join here. Hopefully he'll join soon. So the nice thing too is that Zoom does give you an alert too, so you wouldn't be stuck here waiting. You could be working on other things, and it'll give you a little notification. It'll be like a chime. Oh, and here we go. Here's Graham. Hi, Graham. I heard you have a patient for me to see.
Yes. Hi, Shane. Thanks for taking the time. I just wanted to run this patient by you real quick.
Okay,
so
great.
I've got this patient so-and-so he's got some issues with depression, some ADHD, difficulties with anxiety. All of these have been ongoing for a few years. The complication is that now he's reporting some suicidal ideation.
Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
And he's not wanting to use his meds any longer.
Okay.
So I can send over you his medication list for you to take a look at. But what I really needed was just maybe some opinion on some change of his regimen.
Okay, great.
Treatment plan.
Great, thanks. So what I'll do, Graham, is what I'll probably do after we're finished this conversation is that I'll probably just have you take me into the patient room here on the laptop, and we'll just do a quick warm handoff, and I'll talk to him real quick, and then I'll set up a meeting, and then maybe I'll meet with him, and me and him can decide together maybe about the medication that we'll be changing, and kind of go from there. Does that sound reasonable to you?
That sounds great. That'd be good. Thank you.
Great. Well, perfect. We'll plan on it. Thanks.
All right.
So that was a brief demonstration there of Zoom. And didn't get to demonstrate some of the things I wanted, like the screen share, which you can actually use simultaneously. So Graham could actually screen share with me as well. And apologize too about the coughing. I'm getting over a cold, and so knew it was going to happen, but it's totally the wrong moment. And that's it that I can think of. So yeah, excited about using Zoom. It's a proven product. I think it'll be really useful in the specific setting that I'm using it in. Very accessible to everyone. And so that's why I'm choosing to use Zoom. I welcome any feedback you guys got to give me. Thank you.